Hello, thanks for joining me on this edition of Church Security TV. I'm Joe Puckett, your host, and Church Security TV is just our location to show you things that are visual, so that we can't put on our podcasts and don't fit necessarily on our video blogs, those kind of things. So that's why we're here today, so that we can show you some items that we think are important, or might be items that are important to your program, depending on where you are at in that organization process for your safety and security teams. Today's episode is brought to you by Church Security University, where you can, for one low membership price, you can join the university and pay a small monthly fee and have access to so many things to benefit you and your safety and security teams at your local church. Today we're talking about flashlights, plain and simple. Let's just have a quick discussion. I've got my notes here, and we're just going to have a quick informal discussion about these things. I'll tell you right up front, I am biased towards this little guy right here. So, great little flashlight. And so we're going to talk about each of these. They definitely have benefits from between small and larger ones. But I'm telling you, for the price, this baby's got my attention. So I just want to tell you that right up front. We look at this one. We look at the three different sizes, really. You know, portability, being able to hold these things and be able to use them versus something much larger as we have here. And also the cost is a big deal to me. I want to look at, you know, what does it cost for you? Because we know these things will accidentally go home with people, those kind of things, they disappear. I was at a church with a pastor the other day, and he went to look for his flashlight, and it was gone. It's always there in that closet, and all of a sudden it's gone. So these things have to be replaced, maintained, all of those kind of things. So that's part of what my balance of discussion is here with you for this certain episode. So we look at the first one, you know, small, light, compact, very bright. In fact, they tout this as 1600 lumens, and I think it's got to be pretty close. It's very, very bright. There's some people in the reviews of this item that say they didn't feel like it was 1600 lumens, but very nice flashlight. Up to here, you know, we go up to the top one, and these are ones traditionally that I was used to using in law enforcement. What are the benefits to the bigger flashlights? Plain and simple, you know, is it possible you could use it as a defense tool? And, you know, and absolutely, you carry this around with you. It could offer you an opportunity to defend yourself or along those lines. You can imagine. Also, typically from what I've seen, and certainly post comments below in the YouTube area here if you know something different, but these are the size of flashlights typically that you get the orange cones for if you're out directing traffic. And we're going to talk about that stuff, the parking lot folks, in a different episode. But realistically, this has its purpose, don't get me wrong. But do we need that just in the church or in our typical safety or security closets where we keep items that we can get a hold of? You know, I don't know that we need these. So let's look at the different costs. So let's look at everything. Look at the dynamics of these things. Again, I'm biased towards this one. Let's start out with this one. On Amazon, and I'm going to quote you a lot of Amazon prices. I'm biased towards Amazon. I get no benefit at this point. Some people have those affiliate things where if they reference you to a link on their site and then go to Amazon, it takes you to Amazon, they get a little snippet back for them, a little bit of money. I don't have any of those at the time of this recording. So, but I do shop on Amazon because it is so cheap for me. I have that Prime membership. And so not to sound like a commercial, but that's why I'm coming from this direction. And those are certainly the prices I'm quoting, but there's other places to get these items as well. So the first one, let's talk about this one first. They call it the Wiziroon, for lack of a better pronunciation. 1600 lumens. It's the XML-T6 handheld portable flashlight. It's zoomable, so you can actually zoom the beam in and out, make it wider or more concentrated if you need it to be beaming further away. It's waterproof, it's super bright. It has 5 light modes as well. So it's got the typical bright light, then it's got a flash, it's got a more focused beam, and it's got a flash mode, as well as also can send out SOS signal for you. So, and a couple other modes. So lots of things going on for it. Now, here's the deal. Right away, 2 of these, and I bought these at Amazon, like I mentioned, 2 of these at the time of this recording, $16.99. $16.99 for 2 of these. And I like that, especially when we're talking about, you know, losing some of these or them disappearing, and certainly accidentally going places with people. And so, so then what's the cost to maintain these? You know, realistically, this thing uses 3 AAA batteries. So the little ones, which, you know, for this flashlight is going to run you, I'm just looking at my notes, it's going to run you $1.95 to get this flashlight up and running with batteries. And so realistically, what are we looking at for 2 flashlights? So this gets you 2 flashlights up and running with batteries, is going to run you $20.49. $20.49 to get 2 of these up and running. And I'm going to show you here in a moment the brightness of these, comparison. We're going to do a nighttime comparison, just a quick informal thing here. So reviews on this thing I want to mention to you. I think that's important for when you and I are buying items. And by the way, and again, I'm speaking from Amazon, wherever you go, these things are they are everywhere, and they're under different names. So when you start looking at these flashlights, you start making comparisons. There's a lot of 2 for a certain amount of money, 2 for 18, 2 for 16, and it's this same or very similar flashlight, 2 of them. So the name that I'm giving you, the Wizzy Rune, is it? You know, and I don't know where that comes from. But, you know, there's other names for this. They're sold under different names. So looking at those comparisons, a couple things I want to point out to you, though. When I look at the features, multifunction, high lumens, has medium, low, and the flash, and the disruptor, that new stuff, and we'll talk about that in an eventual show, and whether you find it on Church Security Answer Man, a video blog, or here at Church Security TV, or even over at Church Security University. We'll be doing a show on that disruptor stuff where it's flashing in somebody's eyes. It's becoming hostile with you. This also has multiple functions. It's weather, water, and shock resistant. It has the tail switch. By the way, I was out the other night with this, and that little switch actually glows in the dark, that little button on there, just as a side little note. One-handed operation, lightweight, and pocket size. Those are the things that they tout about that flashlight. Here's something else. What is it? 5.3 ounces, so very lightweight. Here's an interesting thing to me. Reviews, customer reviews. I'm always looking at the customer reviews on Amazon here, for instance. 973 customer reviews. And here's this is awesome. They have, out of the first 2 classes, 5-star, 4-star reviews. 87% of the reviews were between 4 and 5 stars. So 87% of the reviews gave this flashlight high marks. Very few folks are giving it 3-star or below. So out of almost 1,000 people that have reviewed this thing. And so 75% of people gave it a 5-star rating. 12% gave it a 4-star rating. So I like it. I like it for usability. And again, it might not work for parking lot attendants at night if you're giving them the cone, which is important, cone on the top of their flashlight for visibility. But otherwise, you know, this is almost a disposable flashlight when you're talking about with batteries. You're talking about getting it for $10 just a tad over $10 a flashlight, and it's bright, handheld, portable. So I like that version. We go to the next one. Oftentimes this one is brought to us under like a name like Coleman, camping type supplies. And so this thing, you know, this one still uses the smaller batteries. This one uses 4 AA batteries. Here's the deal though. This is where you start getting into, this flashlight is $18.99 for one. So you're paying more for the actual flashlight than you are this one flashlight than the 2 on the other one. And again, I told you I was biased, so I've got that out there. For our church security or church safety team uses, I do really scrutinize them. And so I get a little bit biased sometimes based on costs and all of that kind of stuff. So the Coleman light, so basically by the time you put 4 AA batteries in this thing, you're looking at about $1.56. So about $1.56, and it just depends on where you get the batteries. I'm again looking at Amazon. You can get a 48 count pack for $18.98 of the batteries. So that makes them 39 cents each, which by the time you put 4 in there, by my math is $1.56. So by the time you're done with this flashlight, it's going to cost you $20.55 to put this one on the shelf. At the current costs, and again, it's a great flashlight. It's pretty bright, and so you know, it's not adjustable. Doesn't have those kind of features on it. Not the one that I have here, but the reality is for putting one flashlight on the shelf, you're looking at $20.55. So, and that does give you some length. It's longer than this one, certainly. It gives you some length when we talk about defensive measures and stuff, if your folks are training on that kind of stuff. So it does give you some length as well on that. So if you look at reviews, customer reviews, there's only been online at the Amazon group where I look at stuff all the time. There's only been 3 customer reviews. And so, one of those folks gave a 5-star rating. The others were lower. In fact, the other 2 were in the 2-star and the 1-star range for this flashlight. Now let's go to this one, a tried and true Maglite flashlight. Been around for quite a number of years. This one's been with me for a number of years, and it's taken quite a beating. The reality is, though, is this thing right here, this is for 3 D cells. This one is $26.22 currently, $26.22 for one flashlight. These are adjustable. They have a little bit of an adjustable beam on them, as you can see. So a little hard to see here because it's not real bright, but it does have an adjustable beam on it. Here's the deal though, these are the type, you start getting into these will start taking that tube. If you need that for the traffic control stuff for your folks out in the parking lot, they'll put that orange or yellow cone on here. And they do make some cones for these, and sometimes you have to get other types of flashlights, even those plastic 2D or 2C cell type lights. So to get this one online, you're looking at the $26.22, and then you're looking at the flashlights. For if you get a 3D cell, you're looking at about $3.72 for batteries to get it online. So that means, and for 2, obviously it's going to be less, only 2 batteries, $2.48. So to get a 3D cell flashlight, this one up and running, you're looking at $29.94 for one flashlight. Now again, it does have its benefits depending on the training that your safety and security team has. You know, it could be a defensive tool for them, that kind of thing, because it is a big flashlight. And you have to decide realistically how often are you going to use that. Many of us are in rural areas where we don't expect that kind of stuff's going to happen. Obviously, I'm all about preparing ahead of time, but what is the cost, the benefit, all of that kind of stuff? And so I am back to that flashlight right there. So let me check my notes, make sure I haven't missed anything that I wanted to share with you. So back to this one again. Let's take a look at, though, let's compare the lights. And so let's take a look here. We look at these lights on the left side of your screen. The brightest one is the small Whizzy-Roon, the Whizzy-Roon flashlight. 1600 lumens, you see that? Next we have the Coleman type light that we call it, and it also sells under other names, so I've got nothing against the Coleman company. And then we've got on your right side, we've got the Maglite, and I do think the batteries are a little dim, a little bit used, but they're not too old in this Maglite 3D cell flashlight. So you look at the difference, though, you got to give it hands down. This we're shining them up against a grassy dirt bank. It is about 30 feet away from the camera, and the flashlights are right in the area of the camera, so about 30 feet out. Most of the time, we're going to be shining stuff out in front of us, 30, 40, 50 feet. If we go to talk to somebody, then it gets a little bit closer. If we're talking to them in a parking lot or in a hallway at the church or something, if something's dark, then we're going to be sometimes distances shorter than this, longer than this. So, but realistically, going back to this, you can see the complete difference. And this just winds up the package just in this brief discussion. Again, we're not discussing defensive measures with these yet. We're not talking about folks in the parking lot, your parking services team, those kind of things. We're just talking about the basic flashlight, having something available. These are going to go, in fact, these are going today into a security closet at a church. So we're getting them set up. And so the reality, and it's for one of our video courses, one of our video deals. So the reality is, though, this thing overall, I challenge you to look at it, suggest it highly, just to get some light in people's hands so that they have light available to them, good light, but also balance. I want these things to be affordable for your ministry, for your church, in getting your safety and security team up and running. I want it to be affordable for you. Maybe it's something where you do these for now, and maybe next year after you've got first aid kits and all of that, depending on your situation, when you get all this other stuff put together, maybe then we go buy a couple of these later. But to get us up and running, let's put some flashlights out, put them in the safety and security closet or office so that they're available for people to grab and use if they need some light, whether it's out in the parking lot or in the church somewhere. If the lights go out, let's get some of these out, and that's my suggestion. Great lights, and they're gonna work for a long time, is my perspective. These are very sturdy flashlights, and good all-around flashlights, and then work up to these flashlights here. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Church Security TV. I hope you'll look for us at other locations, churchsecurityanswerman.com, for our video blogs, and our podcasts are out there as well. Different topics in each of those relative to the church safety and security program. And then, of course, our sponsor today, Church Security University. Go over and take a look at them at churchsecurityuniversitymembership.com, because it's a membership site where you pay a little bit of money and have access to all of this material that they have available to you. Great service program. So, and I'm over there. I'm over there doing the videos and stuff on that as well. So thanks again for joining me.